So today, for the first fact for today is a map-based question, not map-based fact basically. See, what happens most of the times is we take certain things for granted. Now, we'll take a very simple thing. Now, before I go into this, if you are asked a question, let's say without looking at this map, about arrange the capitals from north to south. Maybe the names of the capitals would be given and you would be asked to arrange the capitals of northeast states would be given and you would be asked to arrange it from north to south. So would you be able to do that? Sometimes we take these things for granted and we do not observe closely to be able to answer such questions, and such easy questions we miss out on. Now let us take this one question for instance. It's seemingly very simple, but when we actually try and answer this, it sometimes becomes difficult because we always tend to get confused between the northeastern states and their capitals. So look at this question. Which of the following capital cities in the northeastern part of India lie to the south of Shillong in Meghalaya? Agartala, Aizawl, Imphal. Would you be able to arrange this? Or would you be able to say which of them lie south of Shillong? So questions, we have to have an idea about which state in the northeast lies where. तो एक बार ये देख लेते हैं. सबसे ऊपर में कौन सा है? That is Arunachal Pradesh. Remember the capital of Arunachal Pradesh. So the capital of Arunachal Pradesh is Itanagar, and the capital of Nagaland is Kohima. The capital of Manipur is Imphal. The capital of Mizoram is Aizawl. The capital of Tripura is Agartala. The capital of Meghalaya is Shillong. The capital of Assam is Guwahati. And the capital of Sikkim is Gangtok. So the order here, how we can remember these three, there is generally a confusion between Nagaland, Manipur and Mizoram ka order. We can remember it through Namami. So this is Nagaland, Manipur and Mizoram. So which are the capitals that lie to the south of Shillong? One is Imphal, one is Aizawl, and one is Agartala. The others you can see here, Kohima is here, Guwahati is on top, again Itanagar is on top. So these are some minor observations that can be helpful. The other thing is, which are the northeastern states through which the Tropic of Cancer passes? If you look at it, if you look at the map here, it passes through these two states, that is Tripura and Mizoram. The other states through which the Tropic of Cancer passes is Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, West Bengal. So these are the states. Now second very quick fact here. See, let's say we are asked to arrange we are given the name of 4 water bodies or lakes in India and we are asked to arrange them from north to south. So Gandhi Sagar, Hirakud Dam, Gobind Sagar, Nizam Sagar. So we will just have a glance at this. And once we have a glance, we will be able to arrange the water bodies. We will know what comes where, what comes on to the north and what comes towards the south. So let's look at the top. The one here is Pangong Tso, and then there's down here Somoriri, and then there is Gobind Sagar down here, Gandhi Sagar यहाँ पर है, and then थोड़ा सा नीचे Gobind Ballabh Pant Sagar. There is Hirakud Dam, Hirakud here, right? And Chilika Lake here. Then further down here, if you go, there is Nizam Sagar. Down here, there is Nagarjuna Sagar. Then there is Tungabhadra Reservoir. It's just a matter of observation, basically. Here, if you see, there is this Liganmakki Sagar. Here there is Bhadra Reservoir. See, basically, and then there is Stanley Reservoir. See, the important ones here. See, this to we know already. Pangong Tso Lake is on सबसे north में यहाँ पे. Among these 4, how do we arrange it? So the order would be सबसे ऊपर में Gobind Sagar. So there is a difference here. There is Gobind Ballabh Pant Sagar is different. Gobind Sagar ऊपर में है. See, Gobind Sagar is here, and then we have Gandhi Sagar next. So first Gobind Sagar, then Gandhi Sagar is here, and then there is Nizam. Okay, then there is this Hirakud. Actually, Hirakud is here, and then Nizam is the southernmost. So this is the order. So such questions we can do by observing the map. Next, very quickly, the reasons as to why the Brahmaputra basin in Assam is prone to floods. See, one reason why the Brahmaputra basin is prone to floods is because, see, Brahmaputra is basically in an area that receives very high rainfall. But the reasons behind this high flood prone area percentage, the reason behind this high the reason behind so many floods occurring is both man-made as well as natural. देखिए, because there can be statements that give out the reasons as to why this Brahmaputra river floods so often, or why the Brahmaputra basin is prone to floods. One reason is the instability of the river, which is caused by high sedimentation. तो उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा sedimentation होता है and steep slopes. Also, very high rainfall is received in the catchment area. So these are the major reasons. Man-made reasons भी हैं, natural reasons भी हैं. We'll see quickly. See the land. So what happens in this region? Landslides and earthquakes, a lot of frequent earthquakes occur and landslides also occur. Earthquakes cause landslides as well. So the landslides and earthquakes send in lot of debris into the river. बहुत सारा जो material है वो जाके river में dump हो जाता है. इससे क्या होता है, river का जो bed है वो rise हो जाता है. And इससे Assam and इससे क्या होता है, when the river bed rises, this leads to, it makes it more prone to flooding, right? So this is one factor. Then Assam, what has happened over time is that there has been bank erosion that has taken place around Brahmaputra and Barak rivers and its tributaries. So ये bank erosion से क्या होता है कि the width of the Brahmaputra river has increased drastically over time. Man-made reasons की अगर हम बात करें, when we talk about the man-made reasons, one reason that is the key cause of floods in Assam is the releasing of water from dams that are situated uphill. डैम से पानी जो है वो रिलीज कर दिया जाता है in an unregulated manner, and this is one man-made reason for floods. इसके अलावा एक और man-made reason है this unplanned expansion. Unplanned expansion of urban areas has led to severe encroachments in the wetlands, low-lying areas, and उससे क्या हुआ है कि forest cover भी जो है वो shrink हो गया है. So remember this thing कि shrinkage of forest cover, when there is an over clearing of the vegetation, over clearing of the catchment and stream bank vegetation, what happens is that the river banks are more prone to erosion. Remember that. And इससे क्या होता है, there is a bank erosion that takes place, and also when there is more erosion, there is a lot of sedimentation that that occurs, and a lot of the sediments come and get deposited on the river bed. So this shrinkage of forest cover is an important contributor to this from the man-made side. Man-made reasons, one of the major man-made reasons is this. And the river also naturally, what happens is that a river changes its course very frequently, तो उसको embankment से contain करना possible नहीं है. एक और reason ये है, natural reason is geography, is Guwahati's topography. Guwahati is basically bowl shaped. Okay, so it is shaped like a bowl, so it makes it susceptible to waterlogging. So now if let's say we are given certain statements about the Brahmaputra basin in Assam being prone to flood because of these reasons. Let's say the first statement is something like the river receives lot of rainfall in its catchment area. That is correct. The second reason is that there is high sediment. Let's say the second statement is something like there is high sedimentation along the steep slopes. That is also a correct statement. So something like that. So we have an idea now. We would be able to answer. Next, certain very quick facts methane se related. See, methane is basically emitted during the production and transport of coal, natural gas and oil, even in rice fields. Right? Methane emissions also result from livestock से भी आते हैं, and other agricultural practices, and also by decay of organic waste. ठीक है? Nothing to explain here, right? So, see, this is one reason why the agricultural sector is one of the largest emitters of methane. Remember this, right? Now, methane का जो emission है, that can be through anthropogenic sources, यानी कि human influence sources, या फिर natural sources also, right? Anthropogenic emissions की अगर हम बात करें, anthropogenic emissions include landfills, oil and natural gas systems, agricultural activities, coal mining, stationary and mobile combustion, wastewater treatment, and certain industrial processes. Methane की अगर हम बात करें तो methane is the second most abundant anthropogenic greenhouse gas after carbon dioxide. Remember this thing. सबसे abundant कौन सा है? Carbon dioxide as far as greenhouse gases are concerned. So methane is the second most abundant anthropogenic greenhouse gas, and it accounts for 20% of the global emissions. पर एक चीज यहाँ पर important है जो आप you have to we'll try and remember, that is methane is 25 times as potent as carbon dioxide in terms of trapping heat. As a greenhouse gas, जो potency है of methane for trapping as a greenhouse gas, it is 25 times more than carbon dioxide. But then why is it that carbon dioxide is basically something that we are more concerned about? See, this is because methane जो है वो it is about for how long these gases, potency तो है for trapping heat, there is methane is more potent, but we have to also see how long do the greenhouse gases stay in the air. मीथेन जो है एटमॉस्फेयर में एटमॉस्फेयर से रिमूव हो जाता है बाय केमिकल रिएक्शन इन अबाउट 12 years टाइम, 12 years में अप्रोक्सीमेटली. So that way 12 years time में के लिए रहता है almost in the atmosphere. So it is relatively short lived as compared to carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide का जो lifetime है in the air, remember that is basically very difficult to determine, but see, approximately 65 to 80% of the carbon dioxide जो release होता है into the air, that dissolves in the ocean over a period of 20 to 200 years. बाकी का जो carbon dioxide है, that is removed by slower processes and that can take up to several hundreds of thousands of years. इसका मतलब ये है कि once in atmosphere, carbon dioxide can continue to affect the climate for thousands of years. Methane, most likely in about 12 years. So that is why carbon dioxide is something that we are very much concerned about, because it stays for long, its effects can be felt for long. Nitrous oxide की अगर हम बात करें on the other hand, so that is destroyed in the atmosphere more slowly than methane, but faster somewhat we can say than carbon dioxide. About 114 years में nitrous oxide जो है that can be destroyed in about 114 years. Now the water vapor की अगर हम बात करें, so it is a greenhouse gas because it is an effective absorber of heat, but वो उस तरह से accumulate नहीं करता है जैसे कि बाकी greenhouse gases करते हैं in the atmosphere. It does not accumulate in the same way as the other greenhouse gases. Thus, it has a very short atmospheric lifetime, maybe a few hours to days, because it gets rapidly removed as, say, rain or snow. So this is not a matter of concern because it is something that gets removed relatively very quickly. And then basically it is part of the feedback loop, and yeah. So next, another very quick facts about something to do again with about Northeast. We could have done it when we discussed about Northeast itself, but again I kept it here separate क्योंकि एक साथ if we do too many facts at once, it becomes difficult to remember. So separately we'll do small facts, right? So now let's say we are given the name of these hills and we are asked to arrange these from south to north, or north to south, whatever, south to north. Let's keep it south to north for now. Will we be able to do this? Some things we might think that it's very easy, but when we come across such questions, it is actually a little tricky. So we have to have skills to observe map. We have to spend some time, probably on a daily basis, to observe these small things in a map. So let's see. There is this, let's look at the hills that are mentioned here in this map. Then we'll see, then we'll arrange this, right? So ऊपर में, let's first of all, there is Mishmi Hills. Let us look at the hills from here. Top से देखते हैं. Mishmi Hills here on the top. कौन से state में? Arunachal. Then down, as we come down, we see Patkaibam. So if we look at where, in which state it is, Patkaibam is यहाँ पे Arunachal Pradesh and a bit of Nagaland. Alright, and also if you see, actually some part of Myanmar also is there, but in India it's in Arunachal Pradesh and Nagaland. Let's come a little this side and see यहाँ पे there is Naga Hills. Naga Hills, from the name we can get it that it is in Nagaland, so it is in Nagaland. So here we see there is Mikir Hills. Mikir Hills is basically a group of hills that is located to the south of the Kaziranga National Park in Assam. Okay. Then we look at this Bareil Range, whatever the pronunciation is, Bareil Range. So the states, Bareil Range जो है, that is states that touch it, or the states that contain parts of it are Assam. ठीक है, Assam है, and then there is Meghalaya. Okay, there are some parts of Meghalaya also included. Manipur and Nagaland. Nagaland also contains this Bareil Hills, right? Then, very importantly, the Garo, Khasi and Jaintia Hills in Meghalaya. ठीक है, they are here. अब एक बहुत important चीज यहाँ पर ये है नोट करने वाली. Here there is this Rajmahal Hills on this side down. If you see on this side here, ठीक है, that is in the area of Jharkhand. So it is believed that this Meghalaya, the Khasi, Garo and Jaintia Hills and the Rajmahal Hills के बीच में एक बड़ा सा fault create हो गया था. Okay, so there was a big fault created. So in this region, actually there was a huge fault that was created, and it is believed that it was due to the force that is exerted by the northeastward movement of the Indian plate at the time of the Himalayan origin. There was a huge fault that was created between the Rajmahal Hills that we see here in Jharkhand and the Karbi Meghalaya plateau. तो ये basically फिर जो उसके बीच का जो depression है, that got filled with depositional activity of the various rivers that flow. Right? So remember that they were there is this huge fault. So basically this northeastern plateau जो यहाँ पर है, that is actually an extension of the main peninsular plateau that got separated because of the northeastward movement of the Indian plate. Now anyhow, coming back to the hills that we were talking about, so सबसे नीचे में कौन सा है? मिजो हिल्स. So हमें पता है सबसे साउथ पे गया था मिजोरम. तो ये तीनों जो है, if you remember, sometimes it's tricky, right? नागालैंड is ऊपर, उसके नीचे मणिपुर, मिजोरम. So as I said, वो नमामि यूज करके you can as a mnemonic you can remember it. So सबसे नीचे मिजोरम, तो यहाँ पे मिजो हिल्स will be the southernmost. So if you know that मिजो हिल्स is the southernmost, you will be in a position to arrange these, you'll be able to at least eliminate. So remember, southern Mizo Hills जो है southernmost है, एक तो ये चीज है. And then इसके अलावा जो है हम इस option में तो पटकाई बम जो है, here it comes second. So from north it is second here, north से second यहाँ पर है. So as far as arranging these options from south to north is concerned, what will be the option? It will be as written 1, 2, 3, 4. That is Mizo Hill सबसे south में है, this one. Then there is this Bareil range that is here. Then there is this Naga Hills that is here, and Patkai Bum that is here. Okay, so Mizo Hills, Bareil range, Patkai Bum. इसके बीच में यहाँ पे Naga Hills, and then this, right? And this is not something that you have to very strictly remember. This is a matter of observation. Take the atlas and spend some time in observing. Automatically it will get registered ki where is what. The next and perhaps the last fact for today's discussion in prelims is this: factors on which the high and low tides depend. See, tidal highs and lows depend on different factors. Okay. Now, if somebody asks you, does the range of tide increase with increasing latitude? Is it so? Does the range of tide increase with increasing latitude? There is a misconception that exists that it is so. We'll see. See, क्या क्या चीजों पर depend करता है range of tide? See, the shape and geometry of the coastline is one important factor. And they play a major role. जितना ज़्यादा constriction होगा उतना ज़्यादा वहाँ पर जो है effect, the range of the tide would be more. And also very importantly, with the locations of the sun and the moon, the tides are affected. The tidal highs and lows depend on the locations of the sun and moon. This is something that we know. Now, just as a fact, you can remember that the highest tide in the world is located in Canada. The thing is, see, most of the areas in the world जहाँ पर high ranges of tides देखने के लिए मिलते हैं, they are in Alaska, they are in Canada, Northern Europe, and इससे एक misconception है कि the range of tide जो है वो increase करता है with increasing latitude, but that is a misconception. Okay, so that is not so. It does not actually depend on latitude. The range of tide does not depend on latitude. पर ऐसा क्यों है कि in Alaska, Canada and Northern Europe region we see that tidal ranges are high, the range of tide is high? See, the increased tidal ranges in these areas are created by the positions and configurations of the continents in the Northern Europe. क्या होता है higher latitudes में Northern Hemisphere में? So in the Northern Hemisphere, so in the higher latitudes of the Northern Hemisphere, the continents of North America, Europe and Asia are pressed close together. So if you see this entire thing, so the continents are pressed close together. Here also we see that there is this constriction. This constriction of oceans creates the effect of a higher range of tides. यहाँ भी अगर हम देखें, so this North America, this side actually यहाँ पर ये वाला, so the constriction of oceans creates the effect of higher range of tides. क्योंकि अगर लैटिट्यूड पे डिपेंडेंट होता तो सदर्न हेमिस्फीयर में तो इस तरीके की चीज देखने के लिए नहीं मिलती है. सो इट इज नॉट डिपेंडेंट ऑन द लैटिट्यूड्स. ठीक है, सदर्न हेमिस्फीयर में इन द सदर्न टिप्स of America, South Africa, Australia, Antarctica, यहाँ पर South America, South Africa, Australia, Antarctica में इस तरीके का constriction नहीं है और वहाँ पे it is observed the tidal ranges are not increased. Thus, we can say that the range of tide does not increase with increasing latitude. Remember, so if there is a statement that says that the range of tide increases with increasing latitude, that is wrong. It is a misconception. It does not increase with latitude. यहाँ पे northern हेमिस्फीयर में क्यों है ज्यादा टाइड, क्यों हायर टाइड्स क्यों होते हैं? बिकॉज दीज कॉन्टिनेंट्स आर प्रेस्ड क्लोज टुगेदर, देयर इज कंस्ट्रिक्शन एंड दिस क्रिएट्स द इफेक्ट ऑफ हायर रेंज ऑफ tides. So that is the reason. Shape of bays, estuaries, yes, that can magnify the intensities of tides. What are the other factors? Location of the sun and moon, that is something we know, and geometry of the coastline, that also affects. So this is something we remember. Latitude से affect नहीं होता है. Northern hemisphere में constriction की वजह से ऐसा लगता है there is this effect of higher range of tides, right? So this is it for today, and बाकी का we'll continue in the next discussion.